Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Stephanie Robles here, and I'm just enjoying my morning cup of coffee. If you guys saw um, my news feed, everybody's still asleep. That's probably a sign that we had a pretty successful, awesome party with family and friends and good food, and the girls were just going crazy. And I'm just truly present and I'm so happy. I'm awake. I'm such a morning person. It's so weird. And I can hear the birds chirping. And it's been a while since it's been warm enough to actually come in my backyard and just enjoy the peace of it. So I was having a conversation with my mother, and we were talking about why is it so much easier to be you on social media versus out in the real world. Like, I consider myself to be a very confident person, but then there are times where I'll go to have a conversation with somebody and it almost seems like they cut me off, or like I'm not able to finish my thought process because it'll just kind of they'll just cut me off. Yeah, pretty basically. There's no way around that. Versus social media, where you'll be able to just type your thoughts out, say it really quickly, or go live, and you don't have that problem. And if somebody tries to interrupt you, it's like, oh, okay, somebody's trying to interrupt me. Bloop, block. So we get in this comfort zone of just being able to freely speak our mind without interruption, without anything on social media. You don't have to worry about somebody interrupting your thought process. You can share your opinions with those and they can agree to disagree, or sometimes you'll get the random people that kind of take it the wrong way, and it is what it is. That's cool too. But for the most part, when you go out in that real world, it's like, okay, I have to be a certain way. It's almost like you're expected to be a certain way. And I never understood that. They say, scientifically speaking, that people will have some idea of who you are within 3 seconds of meeting you. They'll kind of vibe you out for the first 3 seconds, and they'll just say, okay, this person is just this type of way, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's whatever. But then you feel you have to be a certain way, which is weird because we're all different. We're not all the same. If we all were normal, like I never understood the word normal, just a normal mom. There's so many variations of the word normal. My variation of normal and your variation of normal could be two different normals. And we never stop to think about that. We just use it as a word. Oh, okay. Just a normal mom. You too? Normal mom too. Yeah. But could be two different variations of normal. And it was just amazing because, again, sometimes I tend to do that with my family members. Like, my mom will interrupt me before I get my thought process, and then it's like, Mom, can I just get my thought process out? And she's like, okay, I'm so sorry. I'm just so excited. Like, she gets really excited and she does it. And then my little sister does it. And then my older sister does it. Then I do it. So then it's like, okay, once you're conscious of that, of interrupting people, there was this little trick that someone showed me, is to like count 10 seconds while someone's having their conversation and wait. Because there were times where I really wasn't listening to what they had to say. I just wanted to, like, right off the bat, just kind of just get my thought process out and just blah, like emotionally help them in any way I could. Like, I wanted to just get it out. And then I really realized that I wasn't being of value to them. Because if somebody comes up to you and they strike up a conversation with you, it's because they have something to say. And what that person has to say may or may not be valuable, but it's considered valuable to that person. So the least that I can do as a human being is be respectful and be quiet for just a moment and listen to what they have to say. Because maybe they have something extremely valuable to add to my life. Give me something different, a different view or a different perspective on which to view things, which I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you'll have a conversation with somebody and maybe you're going through something in your own life and somehow that conversation will cause you to have like this profound logic. Maybe it won't, but for the most point, it'll give you a different perspective on how to look at things. Like, wow, I really didn't look at it that way. And I don't think a lot of us do look at things from the person's point of view. When you're having a conversation or a discussion or a disagreement, we only see our side. We never even think to process how the other person is viewing things. It's kind of like that game Telephone, where you say something to one of your friends and then by the time it gets to the end of the line, it's something completely different. I'm more present to the fact that sometimes what comes out of my mouth may be a different interpretation to what the person is hearing. So then it's like, okay, what did you hear? And then you can ensue in a really good conversation sometimes. No, I didn't mean that. And 9 times out of 10, what you're hearing is something completely different than what that person said. And in your own mind, it's probably something negative. It's something negative because you're thinking this person thinks I'm a complete weirdo. Whatever I have to say is not worth value. I have to dilute myself. I should just be quiet and sit still and just look pretty. And that's so far from the truth. But once you have those conversations and you actually say to that person, okay, this is what I heard. Da-da-da-da-da. It clears up a miscommunication. And a lot of us, we kind of don't like confrontation. And it's not even confrontation that we're having with the outside world. It's just a miscommunication. And it can be all cleared up with, okay, this is what I heard. If you want to say that, or you can form it whatever way you want to. But sometimes that little effort in clearing up a miscommunication can open up a door to a friendship that could be so valuable to you. And make you, not only you feel good, but help that other person out in a different capacity as well. Because we all need help and we all need friends. I mean, we're people. Like, we need social interaction. We wouldn't have social media if we didn't need social interaction. And for the most part, again, like I said, social media, you just type your thoughts or you say how you feel. You have a certain amount of anonymity, so people really can't judge you. And they have these really cool apps that you can like put makeup on your face. Like, you take a picture and then you're like, let me pick this contour, let me do this, let me do that, and you have an instant perfection beauty in like 5 seconds. I know because I use that app sometimes when I'm at the makeup store and, you know, I'm not a makeup person. So I'm like, okay, what color will look really good with my complexion? Excuse me. And I'll use that app to pick out the colors that I want. Because, yeah, it's one of those things that I'm YouTubing to get really, really good at. Excuse me. But it opens that door to have some type of anonymity, and you just feel safe behind a keyboard. But the danger in that is that you project this false confidence in yourself, and then when someone actually meets you from your Facebook page, and you're just out walking around maybe Walmart or walking around the block because you think your town is like the biggest place on the earth, is the hugest misconception ever, you'll end up running into somebody that you know. And of course, you do. And then it is very awkward. Excuse me, my son is up and he's catching. I'm here, I'm in the back, okay? All right. Never a dull moment, right? I always used to try to make sure all the kids were squared away and everybody knew, everybody was asleep, so I had enough time because I wanted to make the perfect live with no interruptions. Yeah, it doesn't happen. And then when I end the video, I always make a dumb face. Like, it just freeze frames. The thumbnail to that video will be this awkward look on my face. So I just roll with it. I think I'm just limited edition, maybe. I don't know. But you'll have that awkwardness. And it always, it's weird to me how someone will recognize me outside and I'll be like, hi, how you doing? And it's awkward. It's awkward. It feels weird because I'm not used to being known like that. I'm used to kind of just saying my piece and then leaving it on my Facebook page and then tra-la-lying. And then you get stopped. And then it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. I don't feel famous or nothing, but it's just weird. You don't think that people have that same, will recognize you. It's weird. It's so crazy. Like, who would ever think that whatever anybody has to say on their Facebook page would be that impactful or that insightful or that thought-provoking? And then they recognize you. Yeah. And so it was one of those conversations that you just have, like, why is it so much easier to do that online versus in the real world? You don't have to you feel like you don't have to dilute yourself on social media, but in the real world, you have to ask a certain way because you're a mom of 4 kids, or you're this, or you're that, or or your haircut's a certain way, or you have to put on makeup. Everything has to be just perfect. And I'm just like, wow, why? Life is messy. Life is crazy. We get thrown through 50 million different loops, and it is so far from perfect. But somehow we find a way to make it perfect, the imperfect perfectly for us, or imperfectly perfect for you. Not everything has to be perfect. Not everything has to be okay. We just glide effortlessly. Sometimes we'll fall flat on our face and we'll get up and we'll just keep it moving. But isn't that what life is? You see that video of this guy and he's trying to shovel his driveway and he's sliding all over the place, and that is like the perfect example of life, because that's literally, and the terminology of, hi, I'm a mom. Everybody automatically thinks that you have this profound logic, like it automatically comes all together and you're the know-all, see-all of be-all because you have the word mom in it. I had to let my son know that sometimes I don't know everything. I actually have to Google it, or I have to ask somebody else for help because I don't know it. And if I don't know it, there's no shame in asking for help. But I don't know it all. I can give you my honest opinion and my thoughts on it, but so far from knowing it all and be all and see all, like, yeah. And he was like, are you serious? Oh, well, my kiddos are up. My daughter is like right there looking at me. Yeah, it just got real. She just woke up. Oh my gosh, I'm so ready to start this day. Thank you so much for joining me on this morning and sharing with me. Look how beautiful it is. Like my yard, I know I need to mow it. but my grass is looking fab from the dryness that is summer, that is going to be the heat wave like 90s. Ugh, I hate that. And my morning cup of coffee, like, I love this cup. I was dropped as a baby in a pool of awesomeness and glitter. I mean, come on, because who doesn't like glitter? I got my coffee. My world is perfect as of right now. And that's all right. So thank you for joining me and having a conversation with me. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day. Let's rock it out Monday, baby. Bye.